Hello everyone, welcome to Crafty and Curious. My name is Nicole, and today I thought I would show you 5 projects that I am just struggling to finish. We can all commiserate together because we all have those works in progress that we just cannot get to the end to. So I thought I'd share mine on the internet, because why not? Misery enjoys company, right? Right. I think that I will start by going from the most recent to least recent. So we're going from shortest amount of time that I've just kind of been staring at it as it sits there collecting dust in the corner to the longest amount of time that I have kept that project on the needles because I know I really want to get back to it one day, but just can't quite bring myself to do it. There are some other ones, but for this video I'm going to limit it to just the 5 that I have around me right now, and then let me know in the comments below or by dropping a like on this video if you do want to see some of my other unfinished projects, because there's lots of them. So the first one, I forget what this pattern is called. I will put a picture of the pattern up on the screen, but it's this skirt that I've got here. I think this is a really beautiful color. This is a DK weight yarn, and this skirt, I believe it's called like the Drops Tulip pattern or something like that. It's meant to be kind of like almost like a tube skirt that kind of ends just before your knees. I was modifying the pattern and making it more into an A-line skirt because I have kind of a pear shape, so I'd prefer to have skirts go out away from my body. I really love it so far. I really do. Like, there's this beautiful lace pattern here. There we go. There's this beautiful lace pattern. Absolutely gorgeous. I added in this like 2.5 inch ribbing as kind of a waistband for myself. And I love the color. I think it's gorgeous. I think it'll be beautiful with like a turtleneck in the winter. Such a pretty project. But I haven't been working on it lately, and I think I just got bored. As I'm making this into an A-line, I have to make it bigger and bigger and bigger as I move down. And I'm very bad at getting bored of projects like that. So I think that's really what's happened here. I just got bored. I will get back to it at some point, someday. But oh my gosh, is it going to be so much fun to try and figure out where in the pattern I actually am when I get back to it. I don't know about you guys, but I find that really hard when I've put something away for a while and then I go back to it and it's like, where in the pattern was I? What size needles did I even use? So before that one, there was this one. And of course it's all tangled up. So before that project, there was another project that I kind of put on hold, and I was actually creating a pattern with this one. I was creating a baby blanket pattern, and I was making it with cotton yarn. So this is where I'm at. I've got this lovely little seed stitch border here, and then just some rows of stockinette. And I do have the pattern written out in a book somewhere. Don't ask me where the book is, for what I want this to look like. Eventually I will finish it. However, I just totally fell off the train, just not interested at all in pursuing this right now. I don't know why. I especially don't know why when I look at this beautiful yarn that I'm using, and like, I have seen pictures of this yarn. This is that Twists, I think, Twirls, Cotton King's Twirl Cake from Hobby. And I have seen so many pictures of how beautiful this yarn fades from one color to another, and you can tell as you look at it in the middle there. It's gorgeous. So you would think that I would be very motivated to get from one color to the next to see that fade happening, and I just haven't been. I don't know why. I'm doing this alongside just a plain little fingering weight white cotton to create that kind of marled effect, but also to just up the weight of the yarn that I'm using so that it doesn't take absolutely forever and like 300 stitches to make a baby blanket. This is going to just be a small little baby blanket, something like for a pram or something, or for a stroller. It's not meant to be entirely huge, but I do really want to get back to this eventually because I want to see what that fade looks like, and I also want to release the pattern that I had in mind for this because I think it's going to be a beautiful baby blanket that I would love to share with all of you. Ramble. Next one we've got is the Nina shawl. Anybody who follows me on Instagram, it's in the description. Anyone who follows me at Willow West Knits on Instagram knows that I have been talking about the Nina shawl for about 2 months now. It was this shawl pattern that I came up with I came up with it while I was making a shawl. I'll put the picture of the shawl on the screen here. That shawl is for sale in my Etsy shop as well, if you're interested. And I wanted to make that into a pattern that I could sell on Etsy and Ravelry. And I said to myself, well, you know, maybe I'll write it out according to how I made this purple and gold one. And then I will do a test knit. I will do another one with some more yarn. So I picked up some of my favorite yarn. This is the Caron Swirl Cakes yarn. It's got this lovely subtle fade to it. It's 20% wool. It's very beautiful. I even figured out who I would give this to once I finished it. Started working on my pattern, and I just got bored. It's a beautiful pattern. It's an interesting pattern, so it's not the pattern that's inherently boring. I'm not going to say that about my own pattern. It's not boring, but the fact that I did it once already and then tried to do it again right after, I think that was my issue. So what I've decided to do is I will finish this eventually. This is what this one's looking like so far. I will finish this eventually for that family member, but I think I'm going to just get a couple of my friends who knit to edit and look over my pattern as it's written now, and then I'll just release it for a little bit cheaper than I originally was planning to, just because I never did get that second test knit done. And then of course I'll offer, you know, an email address and support for anybody who needs help with the pattern. It's a really fun pattern though. If you haven't done something similar to this before, I do recommend that you check out my Etsy shop and my Ravelry page regularly so that you can see when that pattern drops. I'm hoping it will be by the end of June. We'll see. I've made promises on that one before. We'll see. So now with the last two projects, we are getting a little bit, quite a long time ago. These three that I've shown you so far were fairly recently, like within the last month or two. The last two I have to show you are, they've been hibernating for a while now. The first one I'm going to show you is one that I started last August, I think, and I'm very close to finishing half of it, you'll see. And the other one was even before that. I think I started that one last June. So I need to get going on these. The first one that I'm talking about is, and I'll put a better picture of it up on screen here because it's kind of like all rolled up right now. But the first one I'm talking about is what I'm calling the Anne of Green Gables scarf. So this is a scarf, a colorwork scarf that I designed. I designed all the colorwork for it. There's Green Gables, some nice patterns, some kind of like country flowers, you know, and the plan, here's Anne and Gilbert. I'm a huge fan of Anne of Green Gables, both Anne with an E and also the 1985 Anne of Green Gables with Megan Follows. I grew up watching that with my mom and absolutely love it. But anywho, so I started making this scarf late last summer. I really only have to do one more panel and then maybe knit a back for it or line it with some kind of thick lining fabric to keep it from curling. And I just haven't. If you want to see that scarf done, drop a like on this video and comment down below so that I know, because if enough people are interested in seeing the Anne scarf be finished, then I guess I'll have to finish it. The last item I'm going to be sharing today. This is a cardigan. There is the pattern for it on Ravelry by Drops. That's the pattern of this one. And I've basically finished everything except the bust up. I started working on my first sleeve and then I lost all traction for this project. It's a great project. It's beautiful. I made it a little bit longer than the pattern called for because I like sweaters that go past my bottom. But look how pretty it is. It's gorgeous. I also thought about taking this pattern and modifying it into a skirt with those cables going down. It would have been absolutely beautiful. But yeah, it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous cardigan that I just can't bring myself to finish. I think I got sleeve fatigue, you know? I got tired of it when the sleeves hit. I don't know. Does that happen to anyone else? Does anyone else get sleeve fatigue? Well, that is everything I've got to show you today. Those are 5 projects that I have started knitting in the last year or so and just have not gotten around to finishing, but I do want to finish them one day. I do not want to frog these projects, so please do suggest that. Do you think there's one here that I should prioritize over the others, one that you think I would really enjoy more of? I'm kind of thinking I want to prioritize the baby blanket because I really like designing patterns and I'd really like to release patterns, and I think that that baby blanket would be a really easy one to get done. So I think that's mine. Also, I want to see that fade, that rainbow fade is going to be gorgeous. Is there one here that you guys would like to see me finish more than the others? I have a feeling that the Anne scarf would be pretty popular. You know, let me know if you want to see that. Drop a like, drop a comment down below, and I would love to hear from you. That's everything I've got for you today. Remember to stay crafty, stay curious, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!